So hello everyone, I am Lyra Oros from BN2A. Welcome to our journey through time. Today, we're going to delve into a fascinating era of the history, the Japanese period. This era is rich with culture, tradition, and transformation, and I can't wait to share it with you. So sit back, relax, and let's travel back in time together to explore the Japanese period. The Japanese period from 1941 to 1945. The development of Philippine literature was halted when Japan, a foreign nation, seized the country once more. With the exceptions of the Tribune and Philippine Review, nearly all English-language newspapers in the Philippines were shut down by the Japanese, resulting in a complete cessation of Philippine literature published in English. The positive impact on Philippine literature, which received a fresh interest as a result of English language writers switching to Filipino language. Because of the tight Japanese restriction on writing in English, Juan Laya, who had previously written in English, switched to writing in Filipino. The weekly Liwayway was closely monitored until it was taken over by Ishiwara, a Japanese woman. During this time, 3 different kinds of poems were created. These were haiku, a free verse poem written by the Japanese. It was composed of 3 lines and 17 syllables. The second one is tanaga, is a brief but rhyme and measured. And lastly, the first several chapters of these books are referred to as karaniwang anyo or usual form. Due to the closure of the theaters exhibiting American films, this era saw a pause of drama throughout the Japanese period. Albert Concho, Narciso Pimentel, and Francisco Soc Rodrigo served as the translators. Founded by the Filipino writers, they went by the name the Dramatic Philippines. A few of playwriters were Jose M. Hernandez, wrote Panday Pira; Francisco Soc Rodrigo, wrote Pula sa Puti; Clodoaldo Del Mundo wrote It Bulaga, an expression in the game Hide and Seek. Oyan Cruz Balmaceda wrote Sino Ba Kayo, dahil sa anak ang hingganti na patay. The short story scope was increased by the Japanese occupation. Several of them were short story writers: Alicia Lopez Lim, Macario Pineda, Gloria Guzman, Liwayway Arceo, Narciso Ramos, NVM Gonzalez, Brigido Matumbakal, and Ligaya Perez were among them. Following this selection, the following individuals were awarded the first 3 prizes. Narciso Reyes won the first place with his Lupang Tinubuan. Liwayway Arceo, Uhaw ng Tigang ng Lupa, won 2nd place. 3rd place, Lungsod Nayon by NVM Gonzalez at Dagat-Dagatan. At this time, writing and publishing went through a difficult phase due to the severe restrictions imposed by the Japanese government. Propaganda or financial gain was the motivation behind the few brave enough to write. Publications from this era were mostly journalistic in style. Although writers felt repressed, nationalism gradually began to penetrate into their awareness. Some carried on writing, but most held off on publishing their works until a more favorable environment. For his best-selling book, I Saw the Fall of the Philippines, I Saw the Rise of the Philippines, he was awarded the Pulitzer Prize alongside his mother America and his brother Americans. Carlo P. Romulo is the author of this. Salvador P. Lopez and Leon Guerrero, the journalists who developed The Woman Who Resembled Lazarus. Carlos Bulosan, Raul Manglapos, the 2 poets Nick Joaquin and Fred Ruiz Castro, essays by Francisco B. Icasiano were published in the Philippine Review. The Good Fight, President Manuel L. Quezon's autobiography, was released after his death. The people's mixed feelings of fear and doubts were echoed by radio broadcasts. During this time, there were also writers such as Juan Collas, 1944, Tomas Confessor, 1945, Roman A. de la Cruz, and Eliza Tabunas. was greatly influenced by the Japanese era, as authors had to deal with censorship, participate in clandestine resistance, and eventually help preserve Filipino identity and a trying time in the nation's history. Thank you for viewing, and I hope this film helped you learn a lot about the Japanese era.